When
People who stuttered were considered feeble-minded. I mean, word went around that George VI was feeble-minded because he stuttered.
My biggest fear being a young person who stutters was that this thing, this way that I spoke, would not allow me to achieve my dreams or follow my dreams.
So I asked my parents like what was going on, and they told me that I have a speech impediment. And it made me feel like real bad, like in front of my classmates, because they used to tease me.
Gosh, I'm next. Oh my gosh, now it's me. Finally it was my turn, and like I couldn't get any words out. I felt like an idiot. Like, oh my gosh, they think I forgot my name. That's what they think. They think I forgot my name, you know? Of course I didn't forget my name. It's right here, it's coming up, and then it gets stuck in your throat.
You're just like kicking yourself. You're kicking yourself. Because on the outside, okay, no doubt, on the outside, you didn't hear me stutter. Okay? So I won that, whatever, battle. Okay, I got that one. But when I get home, there's a much huger battle, and that's self-respect.
I would try to pretend I was sick on days when I had oral presentations. Or if that wouldn't work, I would go into my class and pretend I lost my voice.
I always kept it inside. Like I never used to tell anybody like how I really felt. Like my parents either.
When a teacher would call on me in class and ask me to answer a question, I would say I didn't know the answer, even if I really did.
A lot of people don't even know that I have a dysphonia, you know, that I stutter. Because I cover it up very well.
Being a person who stutters is hard. You know, it's hard to keep all that positivity every day in every situation, every look that you get, every time someone cuts you off, every time you're ordering food at a restaurant and they give you a weird look. We all have a choice every moment of the day to live out of fear or to live out of courage and strength. So I've chosen to live out of courage and strength.
Where did you come from? Lamentable quality. Before I had a life, you were about to ruin my life. The mystery of this stays with me. Don't brood about things, my elders said. I hadn't any other experience of enemies from inside. They were all from outside. Big boys who cursed me and hit me. Motorists, falling trees. All these you were as bad as, yet inside. When I spoke, you were there. I could avoid you by singing or acting. I acted in school plays, but was no good at singing. Immediately after the play, you were there again. You ruined the cast party. You were not a sign of confidence. You were not a sign of manliness. You were stronger than good luck and bad. You survived them both. You were slowly edged out of my throat by psychoanalysts. You who had been brought in, it seems, like a hired thug to beat up both sides and distract them from the main issue, Oedipal love. You are horrible. Tell them, now that you're back in your thug country, that you don't have to be so rough next time you're called in, but can be milder and have the same effect. Unhappiness and pain.
This poem, it really speaks to me. Most people don't know how bad it is to stutter. They don't know how it feels. So for some people reading this poem, they're like, oh, this makes no sense, you know? I mean, you have some people who get nervous and they start to trip over their words, but that's completely different. People who stutter, they've lived with that their whole life. I've lived with that my whole life. This poem, it's just really brings out the essence of how I think stutterers feel. It's how I feel myself. I can't speak for, you know, the rest of us, but it's how I feel. like the way he relates it to being a thug, a hired thug. That's something I've felt about it my whole life. It feels like it's always beating me down, and it's just how it's always been. It's just hard for people to really grasp what it truly is. And the poem says it's this lamentable quality, meaning it's just this horrible quality to have, and that's honestly how I felt about it my whole life. It's just been this curse to me, and it's been really hard living with it because it sort of changes your whole life. And what people don't know, and what the poem actually tells people, is that when you sing, it goes away. It's not even there. When you're by yourself, it's hardly even there. And I've found when you talk in different voices, different like accents, it stops. It goes away. And there was a point where I would love to sing and act because my voice would finally sound normal. My voice wouldn't have any of those gasping for air moments or any of that. It really made me happy that I could hear myself and just all flows. It's really great. When I was going to find poems, I skipped past this one a couple of times because I didn't really know what it meant until I read it, and I was sort of awestruck that I kept passing this by, trying to find the perfect poem for me to do this project, when it was staring at me, like it was right under my nose. This poem truly speaks to me, and it makes me want to speak to the world about this problem. Reading this poem and doing this project has led to me doing some great things. I've researched stuttering, I've watched documentaries on it, and it's really changed my outlook towards it. I've seen people, I've met people who are a lot worse off than me, and I've never really stopped to think that I could be in their position, not even being able to get one word out. And that would be horrible. So really I'm lucky that it's not as bad as some people out there. So those people truly need help, and they truly need guidance. And honestly, I think when I grow up, I'd like to study this more. I'd like to see what causes it. I'd like to see what goes on with it, and I want to help people. That's what this poem has done for me. It's given me hope. It's inspired me to do something better, to do something that helps not only myself, but the others around me.